Hello my friends and welcome to your Michigan Compass. We're back down in Toledo, Ohio at the Toledo Zoo, and today is part 4 of our tour of the Toledo Zoo. We're going to check out the Museum of Natural Science and History. Come along with us for this fun adventure. And like I was saying, the sign says Museum of Natural History, but on the building it says Museum of Science. So is it science or history, or is it both? I think it's a little bit of both. We're gonna step inside, take a look around. Well guys, it looks like it is a bit of both, because as we walk in, here we go, we've got a prehistoric creature. This is a woolly mammoth. Check that out. Look at those tusks. And right down here, there's a little bit of information about the woolly mammoth. And also, right above, they have some small models of various elephant and woolly mammoth heads. And right here, a slight variation on the woolly mammoth. This is called a mastodon. And all 3 of those were listed on that plaque I just showed you guys. Not a whole lot different between them, slightly different facial features, but very similar to the woolly mammoth. And this exhibit might be difficult to see, it's very dark. This is what's known as a short-faced bear. And we've got a couple other animals in here. I think that's also a short-faced bear, I'm not sure. And right here we have what's known as a stag moose. Look at his size compared to these deer down here. Now these are average deer, and they're quite a bit smaller than that moose is. This guy might look familiar. If you watched our African wildlife safari, you probably saw this. This is an American bison. And yes, I realize it was a African wildlife safari, but they did have some bison in there. And right next to the bison, we've got some wolves. I see an eastern wolf, it says. Over in this exhibit is a dire wolf. And it looks like he has downed an elk. It's laying there and ready for him to eat. And over here, a woodland musk ox and a giant beaver. Imagine running into that in the woods, a giant beaver. This next area is kind of an enlarged version of nature. You'll notice large blades of grass and these giant morel mushrooms. Look at the size of that leaf down there. I'm not zoomed in. These things are huge. And right here, an American toad. And he's like twice, maybe 4 times the size of me. Gigantic. Check out this brown garden snail. Over here, a striped wolf spider. How'd you like to have that as a Halloween prop? That'd be pretty cool. All kinds of various creatures in here, like salamanders and snakes. That's a red-backed salamander that's over there. And ring-necked snake. Check this out. Over here, they have a tank, and inside the tank are lake sturgeon. It's kind of interesting. It says they are the most endangered species in the Great Lakes right now. There is a lot of them in here. And the kids can actually reach in the top and touch them. It is open. Over in this exhibit, we have some native streamfish, is what it says. These are various fish you could find in a stream. It is a bit loud in here. I do apologize for that. A lot of kids today. And over here, I guess these fish, it says Eastern Hellbender. And over here, more of those fish. I'm not quite sure if you guys can see it, but there is a turtle down here. It's actually a couple. One of them's moving and one of them's just kind of stationary. And over in this next area, lots of different animals. And I do apologize, the lights are changing as we walk through. I'm not sure what that's about. It highlights different areas. Most of these animals are taxidermy animals. Talks about invasive. This sign talks about invasive species of Ohio. Birds, fish, invertebrates, and even plants. And this guy just came out of the water apparently, and he's hanging out on the rock, probably drying off a little bit and warming up. And down below the snake are some fish swimming around in that water. This exhibit here is supposed to be set up like the lakes or the ocean. Some different animals in here. There's a bird grabbing a fish out of the water right there. Various ducks and other birds. And then this exhibit here is supposed to be similar to what you would see underwater with all these fish swimming around, but there's no water for real. And look at all these fish swimming around in the pond here. All right, so we stepped outside to the Prairie greenhouse area, and check this out. This area is filled with butterflies just like this guy right here. And that's just one small corner, because take a look. There are quite a few butterflies flying around in here. I'll see if I can zoom in on a few more. There are a lot of various plants over here, and I'm assuming many of these are plants that the butterflies enjoy, and that's why there's so many in here. Upstairs in the museum, there is a room called Arthropods, and they have lots of different bugs and butterflies and insects on display here. Just like these guys right here. This is a domino roach. And how about this right here? This is a hissing cockroach. Over here, these are called bat cave roaches. And down here, these are dung beetles. And there's a reason they're called that. Over in this area, giant cave roaches. And then down here, not too active, is a giant African millipede. These guys here are emerald beetles. Over here, jade-headed buffalo beetles. Check this one out, crawling on that fake grass. Over in this exhibit, they have some walking sticks. That's not the kind you walk with, it's a bug called a walking stick. And that's because they look like sticks. Took me a minute to spot this guy, but he's there on the limb of this tree, and this is a jungle nymph. It took me a while to find him, but right there, the thing that looks like a crumpled up decaying leaf is a giant prickly, it's a giant prickly stick insect, and there's actually quite a few of them. These things that look like dead leaves are not dead leaves, they're actually bugs. Check them out, you can see them moving around a little bit. They're all over this thing. Those are bugs. Back there in the very back of this particular thing is a desert hairy scorpion. And the other bug that just walked across the screen is a velvet ant. And right here, a red knee tarantula. And he's not moving around too much. Just kind of sitting there. Back here on that log is a coconut crab. Down here, some golden arrow dart frogs. Now looking up this way, we have a snake on the branch. And over in this exhibit, a Komodo dragon. If you're not familiar with Komodo dragons, they have a venom on their teeth and their saliva that can kill you, so you do not want to get bit by one. And here is another look at a different Komodo dragon, a little bit closer look. He's pretty big, just to give you an idea. My hand is now touching the glass. You can see his head is about as big as my hand, so he's a pretty big animal, and I don't think this one's fully grown. This black and yellow snake is a mangrove snake. And this one curled up in the wood chips and leaves is known as Blanding's tree snake. Over here, a western hognose snake. Well, this reddish orange blob down here is actually a Sambava tomato frog, and there's a few of them in here. There's one down there on the rocks in the water. Got another one up here. And then, looking back through the twigs and leaves, this guy over here kind of staring at us. This guy right here is a Sonoran desert toad. And while it may look like it, we have not been to the aquarium yet. No, these guys are in the museum, and these are lionfish. Right here we have a bunch of anemones, and looking deep inside this one, it looks like Nemo. Entering into this back area, they have a lot of antlers and skeletons of various animals on display. Some articulated and some just bones. A lot of petrified pieces as well. And up on the walls, you can see they have various animals on display as well. Right here, the lower mandible from a rhinoceros. And there is the skull from a giraffe. Some various antlers, one from an elk, that big one. Well, not only do they have all these cabinets with various things in them, but right below the cabinets, there are drawers. And all of these drawers open up and have more things inside them, like these furs from beavers and harbor seals. This drawer here has an elephant hide, and the drawers have holes so you can reach in and touch and feel what that hide feels like. Still on the upper floor of the museum, this area says Tropics Overlook, so let's head inside and take a look in here. Oh, I have a feeling my lens is going to fog up because it is very wet. The floor is wet. It feels very humid in here. Oh yes, definitely, for sure. It is extremely humid in here, guys, and I apologize if it's hard to see. I may have to wipe the lens in a minute. Look at this, it's amazing. Look at this plant with this beautiful flower on it. The foliage in here is incredible. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's a big blue bird that just kind of walked behind that log there. This is incredible. The flowers up there. Oh, and here he comes. Check these guys out. They're just walking right past me. How you doing? I think we have seen these before in the bird exhibit. Definitely want to go down here and walk around as well and see this before we leave. You know, I was originally hoping that we could do both this and the aquarium today. This building by itself is a whole day. It's just amazing in here. So guys, there's one more exhibit upstairs that we have not been inside. It's the Venomous Snakes exhibit. Let's take a look in here. So over in here we have a Western green mamba, as well as a puff adder. Not sure which is which. Hanging out on this limb is a snake known as Russell's viper. And this guy right here is a rhino viper. And this one all curled up is known as an eyelash viper. Down here all curled up, this is a prairie rattlesnake. And the one down here behind the cactus is a Santa Catalina rattlesnake. There's also one down here, and he just moved. It'd be pretty hard to see that in the desert. All right, The snakes in this one are kind of interesting. They're called white-lipped island pit vipers, and they come in various colors like yellow and even blue. I didn't know there was a blue snake, but here, check this out. There's the yellow one right there on that branch. Now here's what really got me. There he is. There's a blue snake in here. Can you believe that?
See it? Right there in the tree.
I have never seen a blue snake like this before. I did not know these existed. Well, guys, slithering around there in the corner of this particular glass cage is a king cobra, and he's just kind of stopped there now. All right, guys, this is the entrance to the Tropics area that we overlooked from the second floor, and we're gonna walk outside and take a look now. All right, well, there is a lot of things to see, including, check that out. There's a little dart frog down on the walkway there. They told us to be careful walking around because there's over 200 of them in this exhibit. Oh, and here I see another one down here on the ground. Check him out. Kind of a black and green color, like a neon green. See him moving? It's pretty cool. I do see another one. That one's kind of cool looking. Hopefully I can get him before he takes off. Had like neon green stripes on him. It's kind of unique. And there's another yellow dart frog down there. Lots of big banana-style trees in here. looking down here, there's at least 4, if not more, frogs. Oh my gosh, look, they're everywhere down here. They're just all over the place. One there on the sidewalk as well. There are a ton of frogs in here. Looking up above the doorway, those banana plants are bearing some bananas. There's some there. And also some more right there. One more thing I wanted to point out, guys, is that there is a cafe. It's closed right now, but there's a cafe here where you can get, it looks like coffee, maybe even cappuccinos, beers, and different snacks. It's called Cafe at the Museum. They are closed right now. It is very close to closing time, but I did want to point that out. And there's also a gift shop here, which is also closed. It's about 2 or 3 minutes to 4 o'clock, and that's what time the zoo closes. So we're gonna head out of the museum. Well, guys, that is going to do it for our trip to the Toledo Zoo today. That concludes part 4. We'll be back again for part 5, which will include the aquarium. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to click on that compass so you can stay subscribed to future videos just like this one. And remember, adventure is just a short drive away.